The last chapter we will address in this course is concerning conflict. Latent conflict, which is potential conflict, the precursor to manifest conflict, latent conflict is something that we each experience a bit of. But actual manifest conflict, a real argument or worse, is something that most of us actually experience quite seldom. Very seldom compared to all the other types of interpersonal interactions we have on a daily basis. Things we have already discussed. Daily conversations that build relationships, filled with supportive messages, compliments, informative discussions, persuasive messages, listening behaviors, revealing and concealing personal information, and many more things. But most people are very interested in the topic of conflict. Although most of us experience actual manifest conflict quite seldom, there are reasons why we're very interested in learning how to deal with it. The incidents of conflict we experience, we remember well and for a long time. Conflict situations can be hurtful and cause long-lasting misunderstandings. Relationships are damaged and hopefully rebuilt due to conflict, but often only after long delays and many subsequent conversations. These rare incidents are typically critical incidents in our lives. So we remember them and oftentimes wish we had handled them differently or had been better prepared to steer the conflict into a more constructive path. This final module does not have a lot of activities that you're required to do, but the assignments are ones that you are required to think deeply about. As a type of final exam for this course, you're asked to consider a current relationship that you would like to develop further or move in a more positive direction. Then review the material that's been covered throughout the course and determine several, maybe 3 to 5 concepts that would be relevant to discuss in relationship to this relationship. These concepts should be ones that you think, when used and reflected on in regards to this relationship, could move this relationship forward in some way. Either forward in the sense of closer or deeper, or forward in the sense of positive. Make it clear which of these notions of forward is your goal for the relationship. When you pick some concepts to discuss, you might start with a broad idea like a particular chapter topic or a section of a chapter, but don't stop there. Consider concepts that are more specific and will be more helpful to your relationship in a direct way. For instance, if you're thinking that gaining a better understanding of where you or the other person views your relationship in terms of its life cycle, which is part of Chapter 6, if you think this would benefit the relationship, don't stop there. Consider thinking more deeply about a couple of the 8 dimensions that describe relationships in that chapter. Or perhaps you would want to consider if there were particular turning points in the relationship that you may not have put enough importance upon. Pick some concepts from a variety of chapters. Remember, this is in lieu of a final exam, so you want to demonstrate to me that you have a good grasp of the bigger picture of interpersonal communication, some specific concepts, theories, or approaches related to specific aspects of interpersonal communication, and that you have some sense of how these concepts relate and interact to influence a relationship.